Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I have some big updates to share with you on Polygon and Solana, two of my favorite L1s out there. There's actually pretty significant news for both. So let's talk about it. And also, let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin and a little bit of Cardano. So let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Yes, and TikTok. I've been uploading shorter videos on TikTok. Some have been doing well. So make sure you follow me on TikTok as well. And check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are feeling better tonight. The market is up a little bit. You can see Bitcoin bounced above 42 again, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Overall, if you look at entire market cap, still down from yesterday or day before, but it's important to remember, take a look at the last 7 days, and some of these altcoins are still rallying, including Cardano, and of course there are some news about that I've been sharing recently, but others, even like Dogecoin is up for the week, Terra's up for the week, right? So things are still kind of holding, some red, some green, and really right now I've been, hammering this point that Bitcoin unfortunately is kind of following Wall Street, following what NASDAQ is doing. So right now, if we're looking at the futures for tomorrow, NASDAQ is about even, the market is even, so people don't know what to expect. But what's interesting is, I'm not the only one that have seen that NASDAQ and Bitcoin kind of went hand in hand. So Will Komet actually posted this showing, okay, well, Bitcoin is orange and NASDAQ is in blue, and you can see how they're both kind of going together, but all of a sudden, Bitcoin pumped right back up, right? Like I said, a lot of traders are acting like Bitcoin is a tech stock, and it is not. And by doing so, they're making a big mistake. They don't realize what's at stake here and what they're really missing out. There's just too many people that are trying to play the short game. I guess that's why they're called traders, while the rest of us, investors, are holding and buying for long term. There's a big difference between a trader and an investor, and I see in the comments all the time people that are trying to spread FUD saying, well, no, what you're saying is horrible. It's gone down and this and that, but that's because they're always looking at it from a shorter time frame. They're trying to be a trader, and when you try to be a trader, you're going to lose. What I am is an investor, and I'm trying to teach you guys to be an investor and focus on long term. And that is exactly what a lot of these whales are doing. In fact, according to sentiment, in the past 3 months, 10 new whale addresses have appeared. They are now holding more than 10,000 Bitcoin. Each one of these addresses. That's a huge number of whales that are now accumulating. And this is, again, I keep coming back to this. There's a lot of whales buying behind the scenes. They're buying through OTC market. They're accumulating. The liquid supply keeps going up. Reserves keep dropping on exchanges. And for normal retail investors, you're not going to see it. You just don't see it because all you look at is the day-to-day price. But if you look at all the metrics behind the scenes, it shows that these guys are buying. And they keep buying. And they keep buying and buying and buying until one day there's no more. And that's when it's too late for retail investors and the traders that have panic sold. And now they have to buy in at a higher price and they have to FOMO in. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to FOMO in. You want to buy when things are down. You want to buy when others are fearful. You're not supposed to buy when others are greedy. That's when you buy towards the top, unfortunately, right? So again, I'm going to keep showing you guys these kind of metrics because that is what's most important. I keep following the fundamentals, the growing fundamentals, and the growing metrics, and they're all positive. So that's why I remain positive. All right. Now, enough Bitcoin. Let's talk about the two that I want to talk about today, which is Polygon and Solana. Okay, so let's start out with Polygon. Today, very significant news, or update, I should say. EIP 1559 has been implemented, and now the Polygon network has been upgraded with coin burning, just like Ethereum. It's very early, but when you combine coin burning with all the TVL that's locked into the DeFi, and you add it into a non-inflationary token economics, yeah, Polygon is not inflationary. It's set supply. There's no more that's being released, or no more that's going to be produced, I should say. So you add this in, it could cause a significant effect. Now, the coin burning isn't as crazy as Ethereum, and that's because the fees are actually quite low and there's just not a lot going on. So right now you can see the amount waiting to be burned about 428. This keeps updating, and on the left side here 458 already. So in total that's about 800 MATIC, which isn't a whole lot, right? I know it's not a whole lot, but it's very first day, and it's something. It's something, right? Now if you compare it to EIP 5059 for Ethereum, well, it's a big difference because $5 billion worth of ETH have already been burned in the last 6 months, and the rate is a lot higher because there's just a whole lot more congestion on Ethereum. And that's good for burning, bad for everyday usage. But for Polygon, you don't have high congestion, you don't have high fees, right? So this shouldn't be a lot, but it's going to add up. I've read that the average supposed to be 1 to 2% of the total circulating supply will be burned per year. And that's significant. 1 to 2% every year. In 10 years, that's 10 to 20% right there, right? So this is obviously the big thing that happened. But, man, there's just a lot of stuff going on with Polygon. There's just a lot of stuff. So this also came out today. Now, at first glance, it might not look like it has anything to do with Polygon. But Coinbase, we know that they're working on a brand new NFT marketplace. Very, very hyped up at this point. Well, guess what? They're bringing MasterCard in to help people to be able to buy these NFTs utilizing credit card, utilizing MasterCard. But everyone's theorizing, is this marketplace going to be on Ethereum or is it going to be on Polygon? And most likely it's going to be on Polygon. There is no way, I think, Coinbase chooses to build their NFT marketplace on Ethereum. There's just no way for that. They know that users are not going to pay $100 to mint every single NFT. They will just not do it, right? So most likely they're going to build it on Polygon. And this could be coming right around the corner. It's very hyped up. And you know, Coinbase, with their vast reach and users, they will attract millions and millions of users. And if it's on Polygon, it's going to be very, very, very good for Polygon. All right, now what else is there? Well, there's other things that's going on today. There's this project called PlotX that raised $5 million through a grant through Polygon. It's a play-to-earn ecosystem, and I was looking at it. Does it mean it's a game? It's kind of a game, but it's a prediction markets where people could bet on events in the future. So this is something, but it shows you that Polygon has a huge war chest, and they're going to keep bringing in more and more and more to the ecosystem, especially with play to earn, and this also supports that. So Polygon also teamed up with a pretty big gaming guild called Liberty, and the whole point of this is to speed up GameFi development, right? So they're very adamant about growing their ecosystem. And what's interesting about Liberty Gaming Guild is they are a guild that helps players get involved with games and play to earn games, and even offer scholarships and development courses. I mean, it's wild. It's almost like a university for gaming. And they're very involved with Axie Infinity, and they're trying to get into other games that will be coming up within the Polygon ecosystem. So pretty positive overall, right? Now there's other stuff that's going on with with Polygon. I mean, just to kind of wrap things up, we know that L2 ZK rollups is going to be a big thing for Ethereum. This is what they're talking about in terms of scaling Ethereum 2.0 once it moves to proof of stake. Well, guess what? Polygon is very, very active with ZK rollups right now. Purchased many companies, and they're developing. So again, they want to make sure, even when Ethereum 2.0 comes out and starts utilizing ZK rollups, that many of the dApps can just utilize Polygon, right? So that also helps Polygon going forward. And guess what? Next month, they're going to have a Web 3.0 kind of like, I don't know, what do you call it, conference? Hackathon or something. They're going to call it ETH Global, right? So basically you can apply, and if you want to build something, you can win a prize if you go to it. And again, these kind of things does help Polygon again and overall. But yeah, I'm very excited about Polygon. And there's other things I didn't share today, but you know, if you look at the metrics in terms of addresses being produced per day, smart contract calls being called per day, number of ERC20 tokens being created per day, daily transactions, they're all sky high. And in fact, all of those things I've said is higher with Polygon than Ethereum right now. So just think about that. Just ponder that for a second. It's pretty amazing accomplishment, right? So there you go. That's Polygon. But of course, today the big news is EIP 1559, which means that they have coin burning now. All right. Now, what about Solana? Solana has been down recently. I know a lot of people turned very bearish against Solana right now because Cardano flipped above them, and they just seem to have no traction within the last 90 days or so, right? But they're not the only ones. And keep in mind that Solana had a fantastic 2021. So taking an extended breather is okay. I've also theorized that VCs that are very heavily involved with Solana, they may be taking a break and maybe selling off some to recoup some of their profits because of what's going on with this year, with uncertainty with the Fed and stuff like that. But overall, Solana is still a fantastic project. And that's why there's still a lot of things going on right now. For example, there's still a lot of fundraisers and a lot of projects coming aboard. For example, Hubble Protocol raised $10 million from several prominent VCs, and they are going to go live on Solana soon. What is Hubble Protocol? Well, they're a DeFi play, but they're going to introduce their own stablecoin, a collateral-based stablecoin. And you could utilize that for DeFi and yield farming and a lot of other things that doesn't exist on Solana right now, right? So quite interesting. They're going to launch this new token. It's a lending and borrowing platform, but because it's their own stablecoin, you're able to do some interesting things. For example, there's like liquid staking and all these other things that you can get involved with, right? So that is coming. That's coming right around the corner, and you can see that this is their like test net, and it looks pretty fancy already. Pretty fancy already. So you have that going on right now. The DeFi ecosystem is still growing, right? Also, you still have NFT platforms that's coming on board. Animoca Brands, which recently just got evaluated at $5+ billion. They are definitely a powerhouse, right? They are very involved with Solana now too. So they led an $8 million fundraising round for this new NFT marketplace called Burnt Finance. And you know what? It goes to show that, yeah, NFTs is still around. I just covered this morning about OpenSea volume and how there's more volume in January now, despite the market downfall. There's more volume now than there has ever been. Even all the great months in 2021, right now is the highest. So NFTs are very, very, very hot, and then they'll probably continue to be hot. This is why you have a lot of big brands like Animoca that is still leading the way, right? Also, I covered this before. There's another big project called Multicoin that raised $46 million. And again, this is creating a NFT marketplace for people to mint and create and sell and trade. And this is led by the likes of Michael Jordan. So there you go. Two big NFT marketplaces that's coming aboard to Solana right now. And in addition, someone already mentioned it in the live chat, we got boxing legend Mike Tyson that's also all in on Solana. Asking fans how high Sol will go. Maybe he should have asked before going all in. I mean, it seems like he did that backwards, but again... very, very, very interesting. I love to see Mike Tyson fight someone like Jake Paul and see what happens, because I think the result will be very different than the Mayweather fight. So there you go. All right, so to sum up, got a lot of stuff for Polygon and of course Solana, right? So good stuff going on. Now, of course, I got to talk about Cardano, right? Cardano has been doing very well, and they're up basically 50% before the Sunday swap launch. So a lot of excitement over this. I've talked about Solana so many times over this past few weeks, and I'm not going to go too much into detail. But this does lead to one important thing that not a whole lot of people is paying attention to. And this brings me to actually my sponsor for today, and that is Nervos. And why Nervos is important is because Nervos has a relationship with Cardano, actually to be a bridge for Cardano. So this is interesting, and not a whole lot of people pay attention to this because you know what? Sunday Swap needs liquidity, right? And I made a big deal about liquidity pools. Guess what? Guess what? Sunday Swap has a partnership with Nervos for exactly that, to utilize their bridge to bring more liquidity into the liquidity pool, into the DEX, and into Cardano. So this is actually a pretty big thing that most people don't realize, that people have asked me about Nervos. They have a huge thing going on with Cardano right now, and it's not just with Sunday Swap. Even with the lending platform Meld, which is going to launch in the near future too, they're also going to use Nervos and their Force Bridge to add liquidity. So really right now, every single major dApp within Cardano is trying to partner up with Nervos to use their bridge, which is very, very, very good for Nervos if you think about it. And it adds interoperability for Cardano without needing to program their own bridges. So there's that. And guess what? Nervos, their bridge is trying to, they're creating bridges for every chain. So right now, they have Ethereum. They're making one to Cardano. And they just created one with Binance Smart Chain. So think about that. Right now, pretty soon, once Cardano gets going with their DEXs, they'll be able to pull liquidity not only from Ethereum, but also Binance Smart Chain too. And Nervos is working on this with Solana and Avalanche and all the other major chains too. So this is not only really big for Nervos, but really big for Cardano as well. So they just announced this, that they opened up this bridge to Binance Smart Chain. And if you go to their Force Bridge page, you can see right now you can bridge between Ethereum and Nervos, right, and Binance Smart Chain. But pretty soon, the next one they're working on is Nervos to Cardano, which means then you can bridge from Ethereum to Cardano and Binance Smart Chain to Cardano and Cardano to those chains, right? That will be absolutely huge for both projects. And also, Nervos just launched their very first DEX, Yukai Swap, which already has around 200 million TVL. I didn't know that they didn't have their own native DEX yet, but they do. So it's a fully fledged AMM DEX. And you can trade, you can bridge, of course, using a Nervos Force Bridge. And there's farms already so that you can deposit and provide liquidity and earn up to, 399% if you wanted to. That's quite a lot. And they also have their own launch pad too. So all the new projects that's within Nervos, you know what? You can participate in the idea within Yukai Swap. Okay, so that's it for today's sponsor, Nervos, but I think it's very relevant with what's going on with Cardano right now, right? That's why I'm relating the two, because there is actually a big partnership between the two that's really relevant, especially after Sunday Swap launches, and we'll see a lot more tighter connections with Nervos and utilizing their bridge. All right, that's pretty much it. Outside of that, there's nothing else overall today. Kind of like a weird day. We started out the day kind of down, and now we're coming back up, right? And we'll see what the rest of this week brings. There's some economic stuff that's going on Thursday. So tomorrow, we should be free and clear without any bad economic news. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. All right. Tai Suj says, stacks tomorrow on Coinbase. Very good for stacks. But what's more interesting is that Alex project that I covered yesterday with my DeFi Bitcoin video. And if DeFi could get big on Bitcoin, utilizing stacks, first of all, it's going to make stacks absolutely huge. And second of all, it's going to lock more Bitcoin away, right? And that could be fantastic, but not yet proven. So we have to see how good it is. So, but you know, being added on Coinbase will probably pump it up a little bit. So let me scroll up. Let me see here. Always. Wait, what did I miss here? I didn't see what he said. All right. Osmosis Dex on Cosmos. I've already mentioned Osmosis. It's funny that some people are like, I don't know what it is. You know, like yesterday or the day before, I was covering different projects. And, no, I was covering Terra and ways that you can make money by staking, different kind of ways to stake UST and Terra. And I even mentioned Osmosis in there. Yet I get a troll saying, "Oh, why don't you talk about Osmosis? It's better than everything on Terra." I'm like, I did. You just didn't even watch the video. It's funny how trolls will just make comments to try to make you angry. Richard, that's for the haters in the comments. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Tyson Inu, I would not be buying that coin. What else is there? Tyson versus Schiff. Our NFTs like Beanie Babies. WTF, what do they do? Okay, right now, what you're noticing is most NFTs are just a digital picture. Okay, that is true. It's almost like buying a digital representation of art, right? But know that NFTs are utilizing smart contract and the blockchain, which means that once you have it forever. And the creators that created them can always add benefit to it, and you'll get those benefits, right? There are creators already creating benefits so that you get future drops, or you could attend conferences, or you could buy exclusive gear or be given exclusive gear. So first of all, there's that benefit. And second of all, you know, NFTs can be so much more than what it is now. So just know that, yeah, right now it seems like everything is just like a picture, but NFTs could be used for verification, for authenticity. StockX today just announced that they were going to get into NFTs and you could redeem physical shoes with it, right? So there's redemption that could come with it. So right now there's just a lot of stuff that is not being done. It seems like everyone's just selling some kind of silly picture or whatever, which could be worth a lot of money, but there's a lot of other stuff that can be done with NFTs, just not done yet, but it's coming. It's coming. Geronimo, Microsoft bought Activision. Yes, I covered it. I mean, it's almost a $70 billion deal. And if you look in between the lines, one of the biggest reasons why they bought it is because they want to gear up for a metaverse. And I talked about that this morning, but that's incredible to hear about. They know that Facebook is going all in. They don't want to be second fiddle to Facebook when it comes to metaverse, so they are preparing for war, right? So I think it's a brilliant play, especially since Microsoft has so much cash on hand, and they need to do something with it. They're following MicroStrategy's playbook, like, hey, we don't want like $300 billion of the cash to dilute every single year due to inflation. We got to do something with it. So why not spend $70 billion to buy a company that could help us short term with Xbox games and long term with metaverse? So actually, I think it's a brilliant deal. I love Microsoft. I've always loved Microsoft way more than Apple. But yeah, just to throw that out there. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Is Stellar Lumen still a promising project? Not in my eyes. It could be promising for other reasons, but I just don't. I don't find it very promising right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't hear about DEXs. I don't hear about DeFi or NFTs. I don't hear a whole lot. I heard they were trying to help with stablecoin creations for certain countries, but yeah, not very fascinated or interested in them. Don't sleep on CNFTs. Again, you need to check my video just from yesterday and the day before where I talked about CNFT and Cardano many times. I know a lot of people don't watch every one of my videos, but trust me, I've covered every single thing pretty much every single day. So sometimes I may skip over one or two things. What's your opinion about SolRise, Financial, and SRLS? I'm not familiar with either one, so I can't share any opinions on them. Just not too familiar with it. Is VVS worth keeping? I'm big negative against VVS. I don't like their token economics or distribution or denomination. It's more token denomination and how much more tokens there are left to be released. I don't like it. Townstar, Gala Games, not a bad start. You know what? I was trying to show that. Gala Games is a gaming platform, and their biggest game is Townstar. And if you play it, it actually has no lag whatsoever. It's a little confusing at first, but it more or less it's like one of those build your town kind of games, right? There's a lot out there, but you can make money, and you can actually have NFT guys like run around and do stuff. I just didn't get into it fully, but it's actually pretty playable, unlike like Decentraland, which is not playable in my opinion. Did you see the huge hedge fund Brevian Howard is allocating a large amount of digital assets? I have no doubt about that. I really, when it comes to hedge funds, right now they may be over panicking and being reactive and selling off tech and maybe Bitcoin because they're trying to prepare what the Fed may do. And it'll probably be like a nothing burger. And the Fed will do what everyone thinks it's going to do, which is slowly increase rates and slowly let bonds mature and not buy anymore. And then these hedge funds will realize, well, we probably made a mistake. We need to get back in. So they're going to buy back into Bitcoin, but also they're going to look at these digital assets, right? They're going to look at what are the great projects that's going on right now, what's promising, what's going to grow. They're probably going to look at a lot of GameFi, a lot of SocialFi, a lot of DeFi, things that end in fi. And that's why I love the L1 so much, because they're an operating system for them. So there you go. GeoStone, I saw the Logan Paul Pokemon scandal. The funny thing is, I think the person that's really in trouble is the grader that originally verified the rap. My friend who's really into sports cars, he knows that guy. PSA hires that guy exclusively to authenticate unopened boxes and cases. His reputation basically went out the window because the only reason why Logan Paul bought that $3.5 million case is because that authenticator said, oh, okay, it looks legit. But it turned out it wasn't, so he must have missed something. There's no way that Logan Paul would have bought it without his approval. So he probably lost his reputation, and maybe he may even get sued. So, as for Logan Paul, he could cover the $3.5 million pretty easy, but it still sucks badly. How are the gym workouts? In fact, I hit the gym pretty hard today. Yes, started working out. I'll hit the gym at least 3 or 4 times a week now. I'm going to try. And I'm going to work on my knee too. Because my knee, I've been telling you guys, my knee has been really bothering me. Still not right, not fixed. And I think I need to just push it a little more and kind of really work at it. Work the hamstring, work the quads, work the calves, and kind of hopefully slowly build it up. I think maybe I lost too much muscle in that knee. But thanks for asking. But yeah, I'm on my way. And, of course, eating better, too. Thanks for all you do, Jordan. I learned so much. Roy, I appreciate that. And I'm glad you are. Jared says, I watch all of G's videos. No joke, love his stuff. I appreciate that. I know some will watch me, all my videos, and I appreciate that, but some don't. That's why sometimes I repeat myself, because I know that not everyone watches me all the time. Are we still bullish at ETH, being that so many projects try and kill it? Yes, because even though there's so many that's trying to nip away at it, it's still by far the leader, and no one is close. Especially if you look at TVL, you look at NFT projects, they're still all on top of Ethereum, right? But if Ethereum can't do anything with Ethereum 2.0, can't scale, can't upgrade, can't do anything, well, then it's time to move on. But right now, they're still way, way, way ahead of the pack. Way ahead of the pack. All right. Do you think CRO will claim its previous peak? It will. It will. But recently it suffered a hack. But they have more than enough insurance to cover it. In fact, I heard they have like $750 million in insurance. So they'll be able to cover anything. But I don't know what exactly happened to the hack. The OG asks, could you explain more about the coin burning, how it affects price? Well, the only thing you need to know is if there's tokens being taken out of circulation, and of course, it's going to start going up, right? Because if demand is going up and supply goes down, well, that's how the price goes up, right? So coin burning will have a big effect going forward, but it's a small amount. There are not that many being burned right now because congestion is not nearly as high as Ethereum. So it will contribute, but just maybe not as fast. Allies says it got scammed for 6 sold today. The guy had almost $7 million in his wallet. You need to report him, man. You need to report him to authorities or report him to the exchanges. He probably got that $7 million from scamming people like you. So I'm sorry to hear that, but you guys really need to be careful with scammers. They impersonate me. I'll never reach out to you for any services or anything like that, or ask you to call me. So they impersonate me all the time. And projects write me all the time, and they get scammed because you got scammers pretending to be me, saying, oh, I'll do your service, I'll promote you and stuff like that, and they get scammed. And there's people that, and I hate to say this, but there's people that fell for the wrong Facebook page or something like that, and they've sent an enormous amount of crypto to these scammers, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you got to use some common sense. Why would I ask you to send me money so that I will send it back to you? It doesn't make any sense, right? And unfortunately, a few people have told me they've lost 5-6 figures to these scams, and I'm like, man, it sucks. So be careful. Be careful. There's a lot of scammers out there. Cody, I appreciate that. I do. I'm not going to, Bobo, I'm not going to repeat what you just said. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, big things coming for Polygon and Solana, 2 big L1s, and they're still growing, right? Also, of course, Cardano and recent run up. Can they continue forward, right? Yeah. So we'll have to see. But basically, I've been stressing that, first of all, don't stress out over the market. Be an investor. Don't be a trader. Okay? Too many people are trading. They're trading and they're getting frustrated and they're exiting and trying to put blame on everyone else, right? What I'm preaching is you got to invest. Sometimes when you buy, it does go down, right? But you got to have discipline to stick it through. If you have the ability to dollar cost average and hodl, then please do so. And you know what? If you hold, be patient, the market will come back, and then you'll be better off for it, right? But unfortunately, anytime we have corrections or dips or whatever, there's just too many people that spread misery, spread FUD around because they just really didn't get what they were. They didn't really get how to let's just say they didn't get what they didn't know what they were getting into. That's what I was trying to say. But don't be one of those people. Continue on your way and continue to follow me, and I will lead you guys the right path. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.